What's up, y'all? Pastic here, and in this video we are going to begin Unit 4, Solving Inequalities. And Section 4.1, we have inequalities and their graphs, and the objective is, by the end of 4.1, you will be able to solve and graph one variable inequalities. All right, let's do it. So it says, is each number a solution of x is greater than or equal to 5. So the first thing you need to be able to do is read those inequalities. So this one right here is greater than or equal to. Cool. So first we're going to do is plug in the number and take a look. So -2, is that greater than or equal to 5? So if I look at a number line, -2 is over here, 5 is right here, and since 5 is further to the right, 5 is actually greater, so this is not true. That is not a solution. So no, not a solution to the inequality. What about 10? Is 10 greater than or equal to 5? Same idea, look at a number line. Here's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's 10. Here's 5. 10 is further to the right, so 10 is indeed greater than or equal to 5. And the answer is yes. And then same idea on this one. So 25 over 5. Is that greater than or equal to 5? And in each one of these, you're going to notice I'm putting the number that they've given me in the spot of the variable to see if it works. Basically like checking a solution. So then we got to ask ourselves, is 5 greater than or equal to 5? Well, this one's a little different because 5 is not greater than 5, but 5 is equal to 5. Since this one says or, greater than or equal to 5, our answer is yes. And our reason is because 5 equals 5. And this one's yes, because 10 is greater than 5. No. Sorry about that. Had a little malfunction. On to the next one. So it says in this one, is each number a solution of 3 plus 2x is less than 8? So it's the same idea. 3 plus 2, instead of x, we're going to put the number they gave us, and we're going to see, is this less than 8? So 3 plus -4, is that less than 8? And that's going to be -1, which is less than 8, so the answer is yes. And again, we got to be able to read these symbols in order to do these problems. This is the symbol for less than. 3 plus 2 times 3. Is that less than 8? Well, let's check it out. 3 plus 6. Well, that's 9. Is that less than 8? The answer is no. 9 is not less than 8. 9 is more than 8. Sweet. On to the next one. So now we want to graph these. You might know how to do these, you might not, but let's take a look real quick. So we're going to graph D is less than 3. So what we want to do is give ourselves a few numbers on a number line here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm just making sure that I have some sort of scale that I understand here. So D is less than 3. So for D, first thing you have to do is you have to make a couple of decisions. You have to decide first, what type of dot are you going to place on this number line? Because there is no equal to, that means we are going to exclude 3 as part of our solution. 3 does not work. We have to be less than 3. And in order to show exclusion, what I mean by exclusion is I'm like leaving the thing out, right? I'm leaving it out. 3 is not part of the solution. Show exclusion with an open circle. So above 3, we're going to put an open circle. The last part of your decision, you have to decide which way are you going to face the arrow. You're going to point an arrow in one direction or another. It says D is less than 3. For less than, we are going to go to the left. Less than means left. Another quick visual check is, if your variable is on your left-hand side, you can see the less than symbol points to the left. Cool, so there's our graph for that one. Now we want to graph -3 is greater than or equal to G. Instead of doing that, I'm going to switch it all around. I'm going to flip the whole thing and reverse it, but keep it the same idea. So it's going to be G is less than or equal to -3. I always like the variables on the left. It gives me a better idea of what I'm looking at. So now I'm going to go like this. Another number line. Here's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We want to put, again, decide the type of circle. This time we have an equal to. And that means inclusion. And we are going to show inclusion. Hello. Whoa. You're going to show inclusion with a filled in circle. Like that. So we're going to put a filled in circle, and I'm on -3 people, not +3, so we're going to keep on this going over here this way. So I have -3 is right here, -6 is right here. I'm going to put a filled in circle above -3. And then I am going to decide which way my arrow points. It is less than again. When I write it like this, we have less than. We want G to be all things less than -3, so we are going to point it this way. All right. Okay, so for these, they want us to write an inequality for each graph. So we have to recognize the type of dot. We also have to recognize which way the arrow is pointing. Before we do that, we have to decide upon a variable. So I shall use P for pastic. So on the first one, letter A, I see an open circle. So if you remember back from the previous slide, we're going to show an open circle by having no equal sign. So I'm just going to write not, whoa. Open circle means not equal, so we're not going to have an equal sign. So P, and what's the number where the dot is? 2, so I'm going to put a 2 here. Then I have to think, all right, which way is the arrow pointing? It's pointing left. Left means less than. So this one we have a filled in circle, letter B, so we're going to use inclusion. So we are going to use a less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, so I'm going to put my letter. I'm going to put the number where the dot is, and I'm going to decide which symbol to use. We're pointing again to the left, so I know it's less than, and this time because the dot is filled in, we are going to include -3 as part of our solution, so it's less than or equal to. C, same sort of idea. P, number, -2. Now I have to decide upon my symbol. I'm pointing to the right, therefore it is greater than, and it is a open circle, not filled in, so therefore there is no equal sign. And the last one, letter D. Looks like this circle is somewhere in the middle of 0 and 1. So what's halfway between 0 and 1? 1/2. Type of circle, open, means exclusion, and it's pointing to the right. So no equal sign because the open circle, so we're going to exclude. So no equal sign, and we're pointing to the right, so it is again greater than. And now we are on the last one for this video. And the directions for this one are define a variable and write an inequality for each situation. Letter A, a speed that violates the law when the speed limit is 55 miles per hour. So the first thing I'm going to do is define a variable. S equals speed that violates the law. All right, so when will we be violating the law? Violating means breaking. So in most cases, how do you break the speed limit law? Most people break it by going too fast. Can you break it by going too slow? Yes, but this is more rare. So we'll deal with a speed that violates the law on the higher side, not on the lower side. So we're going to say this speed is going to be going too fast. So I'm going to write my letter, I'm going to write my number, and now what do I want this to say? I want this to say a speed that is going to be breaking the law by going too fast. If I'm going too fast, then my speed has to be above 55 miles an hour. The same thing as above is greater than 55 miles an hour. Now that's very literal. They probably allow you to do 5 to 10 miles per hour over the speed limit in most cases, but there are cases where you will get pulled over for that. So be careful. Part B, a job that pays at least $500 a month. So pays is the variable here. So I'm going to put D equals dollars earned. We are getting paid by earning dollars. And we want to say at least. At least is the same thing as equal to or more. And that's the same as greater than or equal to. So I'm going to write the letter D. I'm going to write the number 500 for my salary. We want a job that pays at least $500 a month. That's the same thing as saying a job that pays greater than or equal to $500 a month. That is it for 4.1. I will catch you all next time. Take it easy, everybody.